Rabbit Hole Roundup, episode 33, Fighting Ghosts in the Machine. For any of you guys who've listened to me, you all know by now, I'm someone who promotes truth, love, and positivity. I'm all about promoting peace, love, unity, staying open-minded, questioning everything, becoming your best self. But I'm the enemy of the machine. As I've known for a while now, and I'm sure as many of you guys who are into seeking truth know by now too, the social media game has been largely rigged. Scam! 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 Why do some people get millions of views and millions of followers saying the same exact things that I am, but then when I post the same thing, I get shadow banned, censored, etc.? It just don't add up! And look, I get it. For all of you who are going to say to me, oh well, you've speech challenges, so therefore no one understands what you're saying, ha ha ha, I'm so funny. So yes, I do some speech challenges, so maybe that does put me at a bit of a disadvantage to start with, but actually as far as I see it, that should actually make what I'm saying and my whole story even more powerful, but that's just me. Maybe I'm a little bit biased. And also on top of that, I've gotten tons of messages, tons of comments, tons of people in person who the algorithm actually does show my posts to, who are always giving me tons of positive feedback, and who are often saying to me, how do you not get more views? You deserve so many more. You deserve millions of views. Billions and billions! And no, I'm not making this up just to pat myself on the back or just to brag about myself, or even to get sympathy from any of you. That's not my purpose in this video. I might be doing a little bit more ranting than usual. I might be coming across as a bit more upset compared to my usual happy-go-lucky self. But I do think that what I'm going to talk about in this video is going to be very important. And so my next question before diving deeper into some of this stuff, why don't you, all the apps, or the government who's essentially running these apps, why don't you guys tell my listeners, why is my content dangerous in any way? I'm a bad man! Why do you always feel the need to take it down or hide it from people? Am I a threat to your agenda of divide and conquer? Does convincing people to think for themselves and question everything stop people from being these blind, obedient slaves? Are you guys losing the battle, and so therefore you have to shut down people like me who are doing good work and trying to help people? Please enlighten us. Anyways, let's dive deeper.
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the JRE and James channel. I'm JRE. If you guys didn't know that, it must mean that you're not subscribed to the channel, so you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, be sure to leave a like, drop a comment, let me know your thoughts on this video. Follow me on every platform. Guys, I really need some help here.
I need professional help.
Well, that is for damn certain.
So, whatever you guys do to support me and all my work, whether it be YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Rumble. I'm also now on Twitter /X, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. I'm doing my best to help you guys by promoting a positive, loving message and to help people become their best selves. So if you guys could help me in return,
help me help you
carry out my own dreams, that would be very much appreciated, because we're going up against some of these crazy ghosts inside the machine, these invisible ghosts, aka the people who are making the algorithms, and those who are making it hard for someone like me to actually get my message out to the world and to become successful at what I'm doing. But I already know that even beyond the numbers, everything I'm doing is a success, so I don't even need your external validation to tell me that what I'm doing is special. Anyways, I'm gonna rant against all the social media companies and the government getting involved a bit, so buckle up. So recently, it seems that just about every other post I make on TikTok is getting taken off the For You feed. I get this message all the time that tells me how my content violates the community guidelines, even though TikTok was actually an app that I defended, if you guys remember, a few episodes ago. But I'm almost starting to regret that, because TikTok has actually become the worst when it comes to censorship.
The absolute worst. The worst, Jeff.
But meanwhile, I see other people who are talking about the same things I am, who are getting millions of followers, but me, I'm getting content taken down, I'm getting content taken off the For You feed, being told why what I'm saying is dangerous, even though the explanation never actually fits what I'm saying. Then on top of that, I've been shadow banned on Instagram for the past several months now.
Gonna break any day.
On YouTube, I've actually had the most growth I've had in the past 2 months, but yet meanwhile, the past few videos barely get shown to anyone. And I know this because I'm looking at the number of impressions that the videos get. And on top of that, many of the clips I post and the shorts I post, I know this from experience.
I know from experience, dude.
That whenever I post on certain topics, certain ones will only get 2 or 3 views on the first day. But thankfully, YouTube doesn't do the same thing that Instagram does. as far as I see it at least. So like one post won't actually affect the next one. So like I can have a post that gets heavily shadow banned, censored, that only gets 2 views, but then like the very next post could get like 500 views. But like, how does it make sense that I've actually experienced the most growth possible on YouTube in the past few years probably, but yet my videos have been getting fewer and fewer views?
It just don't add up!
Make it make sense, guys. So I'm up against every app right now. They're all trying to block me out there. They're all trying to block out what I'm saying. But like, this should make you guys realize that what I'm saying is actually on the target, as Josh Monday recently told me. This is how I know that what I'm saying is the truth.
It's so simple. Tell the truth.
Because these people don't have any argument against me. These platforms can't explain to me why my content is dangerous without using all this vague terminology. What I'm noticing also is that the people who get taken down or hidden the most are the unifiers, as opposed to people who are promoting more division because the people in power love the whole divide and conquer agenda. Me, on the other hand, I'm all about unifying people. I'm all about being open-minded, accepting different viewpoints, or at the very least allowing people to say what it is that like they believe, even though I obviously have my own strong viewpoints. But I'm not someone who's picking a side and then saying everyone else on the other side is a moron and everyone else on the other side is a horrible person. I'm actually promoting unity, which these people don't like. Obviously, clearly. I mean, why do you think, like, for any of you who watch the mainstream news, but like now also like even on social media, why is everything in our feeds about this side being the worst? This side is the problem. Could it be because they're essentially playing on the worst of human emotions and they're playing on humans' love for drama? I mean, why is it that someone like me, basically in the content game, is running a race with cinder blocks on,
And you'll always lose.
whereas you see some of the other people who are getting heavily promoted by the algorithms who seem to have rocket launchers with their content? Could it be, as B.O.B. says in the song Bobaverse, because most of these truther pages are on the payroll? And look, I don't want to sound like I'm hating on other content creators, because I do believe that like there are obviously plenty of content creators who I love and who I'm going to promote and say all these great things about. And keep in mind, I'm actually totally cool with slow growth if that's genuine and if that's what's actually going on. If it's a fair race, then I'm cool with going slow. I don't mind going 1 subscriber every 5 months if that's actually authentically what's going on. But the problem is, if I'm running a race that like I know is rigged, that's when I'm going to get upset. It's like, as I've spoken about in the past, when it comes to this idea of equity versus equality. So like, I'm totally all about equality of opportunity. Everyone should have equal opportunities to succeed in whatever field that is.
I have a dream that white people and black people and even Chinese people could gamble together without getting different chips.
But I'm not about equity, which means that everyone should have the same outcome. I'm cool with only a few people liking what I'm doing. I don't need to be the most popular or the most famous person, but like, I just want the race I'm running to be a fair one. And as I said earlier, I defended TikTok. And now they're honestly almost as bad as Instagram when it comes to censoring speech. I mean, guys, literally every other post I'm posting is getting flagged by the app. I don't think any of these apps are truly about freedom of speech. And something else that also like frustrates me a little bit is that like there's also levels to the shadow banning. It's one thing when you already have 1 million followers and you're complaining about how your post only got 100,000 views. But then like it's another thing when you're actually starting from the bottom as I am and you're trying to build a following, but you're running this race with cinder blocks on. And just to reiterate, I'm not asking for your guys' sympathy. I'm just trying to help bring awareness to some of the battles that good positive content creators like myself who are all about spreading truth are going through. But also, here's why I'm going to win out and here's why I'm going to be the victor. Because what a lot of people don't realize is that you can't defeat the person who doesn't quit. If I never stop posting, even if I'm only growing 1 subscriber or 1 follower a week or a month or every 2 months for the next few years,
Let's go, 1 step at a time.
imagine how much growth I'll still make as a result of that. So you could try to take me down, you could try to throttle my engagement, you could try to make it even harder for someone like me who already is at a disadvantage with my speech challenges, but like, I'm gonna win, because God's got me, I'm following my purpose, I'm following my passion, so I can't lose that way. And as I see it, I'm already winning, because I'm doing what I love, I'm promoting a good positive message, I'm helping people, even if it's only a few, and the universe and God are always listening to me. Even if it seems like I don't have a lot of followers, I know that above all that, what matters most is that I'm proud of what I'm doing. I believe I'm making my younger self proud. I'm following my purpose, and God's got me. So I can't lose if I'm doing all that. And going along the same lines, another theory that I have for why they've been targeting me so hard is because, first off, I'm starting from the bottom, so not enough people are going to get upset or outraged if they don't see my posts. Also, guys, one more thing I also wanted to mention. Keep in mind, prior to getting shadow banned, especially on Instagram, I was having posts that were like averaging 5 to 10,000 views. And now what are they averaging? 100 to 200 views? Make it make sense. And as I could see on all these apps, whenever my posts are allowed to get through, I'm capable of getting 100,000 views. I'm capable of getting 1 million plus views. I'm capable of averaging thousands of views. So like, this isn't just me complaining about something that I'm not working for and something that like I don't deserve. As I always say, I don't even care about the numbers. All I want is a fair shot at doing what I love and succeeding at what I love. I get that like the world isn't always fair, and I get that not everyone is going to love my content, and I'm totally cool with that. I just at the very least want to be running a fair race, without having to climb over all these hurdles that are actually making it impossible for someone like me to succeed. But also, another reason why I think these algorithms and these apps are targeting me, and people like me, is because I actually have solutions.
We will cut the bike down the middle and give half to each of you.
What? This is your solution?
To the problems that we're currently facing in the world. I empower people, rather than promoting this victimhood. And when it comes to this, I'm not even sure like whether it actually is the algorithms or whether it's the people themselves who prefer to be victims as opposed to victors over their circumstances. A lot of people would rather be told why they can't do something rather than see all the work that it takes to break past those barriers and to find their true potential. But I often see certain posts, whether it be the doom and gloomers when it comes to the truther world, or whether it be the people who are telling you how awful their lives are and how tough everything they're going through is, but like without actually providing a solution.
We should cry.
Sadness, no.
Those are the types of posts in the self-help world that are often going to get promoted because people could feel like they're relating to them, but then how does that actually help you if they're not talking about how to overcome it, or even just like possible steps like to take to overcome it. So once again, I'm not trying to hate on people, I'm not trying to hate on other creators. All I'm advocating for is freedom of speech, true freedom of speech, and a fair shot at making it. Is that too much to ask for? And ultimately, well, I'm gonna find a way to overcome this one way or another. I know that God's got me, and the people who are doing all the censorship and this hiding of my posts, they're messing with the wrong guy. They should know by now to never count me out. I've overcome a life-threatening illness. I've overcome struggles that many of you will never even know about. And as I was listening to prior to starting this episode, one of the greatest all-time rap songs, Till I Collapse, by Eminem and Nate Dogg, till the roof comes off, till the lights go out, till my legs give out, can't shut my mouth. I'm gonna be doing the. I'm gonna be following my purpose and doing what I love until I collapse. So you can't stop me. You can't stop someone who's not gonna give up. So guys, the next topic I want to bring up is I want to respond to some of the comments I've been seeing on one of my posts that actually was able to make it through. This was in regards to my post talking about, was America wrong for Hiroshima and Nagasaki? And I was also questioning whether or not atom bombs are even real, because how does someone film an atomic bomb and it doesn't destroy the camera? But this post actually made it past the censorship and all the hiding, and this post actually added me like 8 new subscribers, I think. Anyways, a lot of the comments were talking about, one person said, thousands of civilians to save millions of soldiers on both sides, plus ending the war. Seems fair to me. Too bad, so sad. Someone else said, tell me you have no idea what war is without telling me you have no idea what war is. Someone else said, I say fair is fair. If they didn't F around, they would not have found out. They didn't take us serious until they did. Now, the reason I want to respond to this is because I see this with a lot of people these days. A lot of people don't actually understand what the war machine is about. They don't understand how every war gets started for reasons other than the ones like we're told. First off, Pearl Harbor was actually basically a false flag event that was actually designed to get the American people riled up and ready to go to war, because initially the US actually didn't want to go to war. They didn't want to fight a foreign war, especially after what World War I had already done, which had demoralized a lot of people and killed a lot of the people, obviously. But so, the US actually eggs on Japan. How they do this? By cutting off their oil supply. And then, supposedly, on the day of Pearl Harbor, I'm pretty sure the US actually knew what was going on, and they didn't warn any of the people who were there. Now, what a lot of people don't realize is the war machine gets fed every time we fight more wars, which is obviously self-explanatory.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
But why is it like the same companies and the same people benefit every time a new war gets started? Which is why all these people are always pushing for new wars. I mean, how is it that BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, Raytheon, Boeing profit every time there's a new war because they're obviously producing the weapons for the war. The big bankers are always going to be funding both sides of every war. And what does this accomplish? Oftentimes it ends up leading to destroying pieces of history, destroying ancient artifacts, taking people's resources by convincing them like the other side is against freedom and they're against you.
One video of one bomb, Mr. Moss. The American people bought that war. War is show business.
So therefore, this is actually justified in spreading democracy. But tell me this, has any wars ever created peace? I mean, if wars were actually about creating peace and creating unity and creating more love and spreading democracy, why do we still have so many wars all these years later? There's obviously more to it. And I get it. I used to be that guy who thought that the US was always right, our government was always doing what was best for the people. And all these wars were actually justified because the terrorists don't like us or this group of people doesn't like us. So therefore, we're actually totally justified in going overseas, taking these people's resources, taking their lands, and eliminating the problem because, as B.O.B. says in the song Earthquake, America's great. Sarcastically. Now, I'm not saying, like, I don't love the land I'm living on because, of course, I love where I am right now. But I think it's time for us to start realizing that if you guys look into our true history, the US isn't necessarily the good guys. Maybe it could be, as Eddie Bravo says, maybe our country and our laws and our rights are better compared like to most other countries, but like, it still doesn't make us right and it still doesn't make us the good guys. Maybe, just maybe, other countries actually are doing the right things also, but like, we've been exposed to so much propaganda that we think that all these other countries have it backwards and they're all doing it wrong, but like here, the US government is doing it right. And this isn't me saying, like, the people and the citizens here are at fault, because, of course, it's important to judge each person at an individual level, rather than malign the whole group of people or a whole country of people. Now, I think that the US and every other country has the potential to do much better, but when you have all this nonsense and all this stuff that I'm always talking about, and all these wrongdoings going on, be it we're convinced that we're the good guys, something doesn't add up here. And this is the same issue coming back to when I get shadow banned.
Denied?
I mean, all these content creators aren't allowed to share the truth, or have to disguise our words, or have to use this newspeak in order to not get taken down. But yet we hear all these politicians who are constantly talking about protecting the Constitution, defending the Constitution, and defending freedom of speech. How does that apply here? So you want to defend freedom of speech, but yet in the same breath, you're not defending freedom of speech. Make it make sense, guys. And this idea of defending our freedom of speech leads me into my next topic, which is now Chris Cuomo is essentially grifting now, and now he's talking about the jab side effects. But like, why weren't we allowed to talk about this 2 years ago? Why is it that I, along with everyone else, was shouting to the heavens, talking about this stuff, was getting taken down, shadow banned, deplatformed, but now it's okay to talk about this? Is there another agenda here? So now, first off, I think that like the reason why we're suddenly allowed to talk about this is because I think now they actually want to fearmonger people who got it into wondering whether any of them are going to end up getting injured and end up having major health problems. And look, I'm all for people changing their viewpoints. I want people to be able to grow and level up and evolve and change their viewpoints.
You can change, you can adapt.
And change their beliefs. But like, you have to have some level of accountability for what you were saying in the past. I mean, this guy was going on CNN basically every day telling people how they were killing people if they didn't get this or if they didn't take this thing. And what are we going to do with the people who are refusing to get this? But now this guy is the one leading the charge, talking about the injuries from this, which many of us were talking about for years. This is like one of the issues that Sam Tripoli is often talking about when it comes to dangerous versus safe dangerous. So like, if you're talking about the truth on a topic before it's like cool to do so, or before the platforms and the algorithms are actually promoting it, you're doing what's called dangerous content, and you're actually standing up for the truth. And unfortunately, there's going to be consequences to this, which I don't believe there should be. But then later on, once it becomes acceptable to talk about this stuff, and then the algorithms actually start promoting you, even though you're essentially 2 years late to the game, how does that make sense and how is that fair to the people who got it right from the start? Anyways, guys, that whole idea definitely frustrates me.
These pretzels are making me thirsty!
And this brings me back to what I was saying before with how, why is it that certain content creators have rocket launchers while others basically have cinder blocks attached to their platforms? Unless are these people actually working for the people doing the censorship, and then they're jumping on board whenever it's time to and jumping off whenever it's time to? At least if you're going to change your viewpoint, own up to what you said wrong in the past. The next topic I want to get into, and probably the final one for this video, because I went on for a while talking about all the nonsense going on when it comes to all these ghosts in the machine, aka the algorithms and the people in charge of them. and the whole social media rigging game going on. But next up we have Bart Sibrel recently went on Joe Rogan's podcast. Bart Sibrel is actually a legend in the whole truther community. He was someone who would go up to all the astronauts and try to get them to swear in the Bible that like they went to the moon, but like none of them actually did it. I'm pretty sure one of them actually punched Bart Sibrel. And keep in mind, so like something that I find like interesting when it comes to Joe Rogan. So like for years he was actually a moon landing denier, which I am as well, because I don't think it's even possible like to land on the moon or to go to the moon. I think we don't actually know what the moon is, but like we definitely know that like it emits its own light, because what they used to say years ago, moonshine. But yet we're told that like the moon is just a reflection of the sun. Doesn't make sense. Because also like, how would you actually have the moon and sun up at the same time, both lighting up? But anyways, getting back to what I was saying, but then in recent years, Joe Rogan actually changed his beliefs, and I think a lot of this is probably due to like many of the guests who he has on convincing him to change his beliefs, because a lot of his guests are actually control opposition, I believe. Not saying that, like Joe himself is actually control opposition. I mean, I obviously have my questions and I have my doubts, but like Sam Tripoli seems to like him, so like I definitely trust Sam Tripoli's judgment. But anyways, Bart Sibrel basically convinced Joe, or at the very least open his mind to all the nonsense associated with the moon landing. And this leads me into this idea of there's a new movie coming out talking about how the official moon landing was faked and how they should have got Stanley Kubrick, even though I believe they actually did get him. But I think that the purpose of this movie and the purpose of this new stuff coming out, where you actually have a lot more people doubting the moon landing, especially because we haven't gone back there in 50 plus years and we lost technology.
Any day.
And all the other arguments I'm always talking about, whether it be the footprint doesn't match the boot, all the astronauts being Freemasons, why do we only see one half of the lunar face, the shadows were all going in different directions, why none of the astronauts be able to see stars. But anyways, I actually see this whole control opposition narrative forming around the moon landing, which is going to be to convince you that the footage was fake.
Fake.
In this effort to beat Russia to the moon in the Cold War. But yet, we did actually go to the moon. We still went, and we're still capable of going now, and NASA wouldn't lie to you, and their whole purpose isn't to deceive you, and that's not a snake's tongue going through the NASA logo, and it wasn't founded by Werner von Braun, came over as part of Operation Paperclip, as many of us know, who also works with Walt Disney, L. Ron Hubbard. But in order to stop all these people from waking up to realizing all the nonsense with the moon landing narrative, they have to come up with the other side, which is going to be, we still went to the moon, we're still able to go to the moon, but like, the footage was fake. So, what do you guys think? Do you guys agree with me? Anyways, let me know your thoughts in this video. Please do your best to support me in any way you can. If you guys like what I'm doing, if you guys see all the hard work and all the effort I'm putting into every video, I'd really appreciate it. Let me know your thoughts in this video. Follow me on every platform. Be sure to leave a like, drop a comment, let me know your thoughts. I will catch you guys in the next video. Stay curious, stay thinking for yourselves. Don't blindly trust anyone. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.